This video is to give you a quick overview of how to navigate the TMS User Interface and some of its key features. The user interface is divided into 5 key areas. First, at the bottom right of the screen, you will find your user ID and your company name. There is also a button to sign out of the system. Although closing your browser window will remove the application from your screen, it does not record the fact that you signed out of the application. Second, at the bottom left, you have 3 helpful buttons. A button that allows you to select your preferred language for the screens. Currently, only English is fully supported. However, if you change the language indicator, you will see that some of the screen is immediately translated into that language. Once multi-language is fully supported, all the screens will translate. Beside the language selector is a hotkey that will launch another instance of the application in a new browser tab. The new tab will be the exact same screen as the tab you were in. This is a very quick way to launch multiple copies of the TMS application. To the right of the Auto Launch button is a Help button where you can find videos and documents to further explain the screen you are looking at. For example, if we are in the Compliance submenu, you can launch a video on how to use the Compliance subsystem. Third, at the top left is the Home button. The home screen is where you will find critical system information and where you keep your preferred dashboards. Please see the Preferred Dashboards documentation on how to create and manage your preferred dashboards. Fourth, at the top right will be the main tabs of the working TMS application. If you mouse over the tabs, they will explain what you will find within those particular subsystems. For example, mouse over the Orders tab will explain that this is where you will find, create, dispatch, and complete orders. If you do not have the authority to these subsystems, the mouse over will tell you so. When you click on the tab, it will open up the main working area for that tab. The fifth and most complex area is the main area of the screen. This is where you will do most of your work within the TMS. When you click on a tab, a menu system will appear on the left that can expand and collapse to show submenu items. Common to the user interface is the use of grids, rows and columns, which will show a matrix of information much like your favorite spreadsheet application. In this example, we are showing you the grid of users for one of our test accounts. The grids come with some built-in functionality that make them dynamically configurable. For example, you can adjust the widths of the columns just by dragging the edge of the grid column. You can sort the grid by the data in a single column just by clicking on the column title. You can move the columns by simply clicking, holding, and dragging them around the grid. You can filter the grid to look at only a subset of the data. The filter looks like a funnel in the grid title. The filtering options are varied and provide a very quick way to zero in on the data you are looking for. For example, I may want to look at all grid items where the title contains the string MAN. To remove a filter selection, simply go back into the filter and click the Clear button. Often the grid will come with some filtering options at the top of the grid. In this case, we can look at active, not active, or both active and not active users. Other grids may have many more filtering options. Most grids will come with an Actions button that will allow you to add or remove columns in the grid. This is a great way to customize the grid to exactly what you need to see. You can also increase or decrease your font size, or export the data from the grid to an Excel spreadsheet so you can analyze the data with the power of Excel. If the grid has many rows, you may need to page through the rows. You can set your maximum number of rows per page, and there are controls that let you quickly page forward and backward. The grid may also have specific function buttons, like in this case, add a new user or copy selected users. The row of the grid contains data. If the data contains an email address or web address, you can click on the address to open up an email message or website. If you double-click on a row, it will open up the data behind the screen, which will often be a profile or detail summary screen. The detail screen may also have its own menu system. For example, in a user profile, the contact information shows the basic information about a user, while the settings, compliance, and business units are other areas where users can customize how the system works for them. These areas are subjects of other training videos. While in edit mode, and if your user profile has sufficient authorities, you can edit portions of the data. If you modify data, like the name, you must click the green arrow to save the change. If there is an address involved, the system will attempt to show you the address on a map. The map utility we use has many of the features of internet-based mapping tools to zoom and layer. In many of these screens, there will be an Actions drop-down. From the Actions drop-down, you can do various actions like view logs to see who changed certain pieces of data. In some setting screens, there are so many settings that they are grouped, and the groups are collapsed into group summary. To see the entries in a group, click on the title bar. This will show all the group details. If you mouse over a group item, it will show documentation about the option. If you click on the group item, it will show you all the different options you have and what they mean. The system is very self-documenting. In summary, the user interface is very flexible, user customizable, and easy to navigate.